Well, hey there, welcome to Worth It Wednesday. Every Wednesday we send a principle worth learning, a question worth answering, and a recommendation worth taking. Today's principle is about the topic of connection, and it's that connection occurs when you stop talking at people and start talking with people. This is one that I learned most viscerally and visibly by not practicing it, and this is growing up, right? I once asked my mom, what was I like when I was a kid? And I was thinking that she was going to give me a handful of words. And she said, oh, I can describe it in one word. And I was like, okay, well, what was that? And she said, intense. And I think that was true. I think I'm a little bit of an all-in personality. And of course, that's a strength. And there's good things associated with that. There's also bad things associated with that. And one of the bad things that can be associated with that is people can't always connect to that. And one of the ways that I saw this play out was whenever I got my first phone in high school and I had texting, right? And back then, man, you couldn't just text as much as you wanted, right? You were very limited to the amount you can text. But it was this new thing called texting, and it was so cool, and you could talk to your friends, and it was just awesome, right? And I'll never forget, every message that I sent was had something in common. I sent every message in caps lock, right? And it would literally be like, hey, how are you doing? Or do you want to do anything this weekend? Or can your mom pick me up? Right? And people experience caps lock as you yelling at them, right? And not only would it be in caps lock because I was intense, I also found this need to really make use of the exclamation points. And so it wasn't like just one exclamation point. It was like many exclamation points. And there would be things where it's like, this seems kind of ridiculous to use caps lock and exclamation points whenever it's like, what are you up to this weekend? And it's in all caps lock with question marks and exclamation points. And what I found in high school is I started to recognize a trend. It took a while to recognize. Remember that intensity and intellect don't always go together. So it took a while to recognize, but eventually I started to realize this pattern is that when I do that, people don't reply. And I would be in like group threads where everyone would be talking to each other and in some ways just ignoring my caps lock enthusiasm, right? And I was like, well, what's going on there? And so I tried doing something different. I just said, well, what if I sent messages without caps lock? Maybe that would make a difference. Just a theory, right? And so I started doing that. And what was crazy is people started replying. And I wouldn't have said this at that time because I wouldn't have known this language. And it took me a while to actually learn that this was the principle that was at play. But it's the principle that we're talking about today. Connection occurs when you stop talking at people and start talking with them. And so what's implied in this principle is within your communication, your tone matters and your heart matters. And are you looking to just send a message for your sake, or are you looking to collaborate and to connect? I love that title of that John Maxwell book, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect, because I think that it's so true. And so the thing that I had to learn via text message that even later in my life for public speaking and for videos like this and for the work that I do with our team and with our customers at Path for Growth, I had to learn that, man, if I actually want to connect with people, I've got to stop talking at them. I've got to stop lecturing. I've got to stop getting on this high horse message of being so outrageously brash and assertive and overwhelmingly intense, where my volume's always high and where I'm always talking aggressively and where I'm literally like on caps lock all the time. And I got to start talking with people. And when I talk with people, my tone changes, my posture changes, my countenance changes. And what it does is it invites collaboration. It invites people to reply. And so the question that I would ask for you is, are you more used to talking at people, or do you talk with people? And recognize that if you're someone that maybe isn't experiencing a ton of connection, perhaps one of the changes that you could make is the change that I had to make and have to repeatedly come back to. Stop talking at people, start talking with